We begin tonight in the Northland town of Kaikohe, where 3 classrooms at Te Kura Kaupapa have been extensively vandalised by a group of children, all thought to be aged under 14. The damage is devastating both in property terms, of course, but also to a community beset by disadvantage. Offers of help are flooding in, including from at least some of the families of the children believed to be involved, and it's not stopping there. Checkpoint has spoken to the cousin of one of the children believed to be responsible for the attacks, and she's provided the Kura with his name, and she's prepared to do the same for the police. She wants his actions to have some consequence and his behaviour to be addressed.
I have given over one name.
And you've given over a name because you actually just think this is unacceptable behaviour and you want something done about it?
Yes, as well as he come home pretty late, covered in the paints that were smeared all over the school.
Right. So
over the classrooms.
Is this someone in your family?
Sadly, yes.
Oh. And so what have you done with him?
I've given him his name to a staff member of the school, and they're going to contact authorities about what they can do.
Because of the child's age, we're not using his name or that of his relative, but as you heard, he arrived home late and covered in the paint used in the vandalism.
Well, it looks like a random vandalism. I think 3 or 4 classrooms had been turned upside down. There was some paint in the classrooms that has been thrown around the walls and on the carpets. So at the present moment, those classrooms will be unusable.
That's the Kura's chairperson, Quinton Hita, a writer, broadcaster, actor and TV producer, acclaimed for his work to help New Zealanders learn Te Reo Maori. He says the vandalism is senseless, but the response to it has been anything but.
You can see the level of aroha really coming through from whānau already. Many messages coming through that people are ready with their gloves and equipment to come in and help with the clean-up.
Te Kura Kaupapa Maori, or Kaikohe, has a roll of 185. Its 2015 ERO report says 100% of its students are Maori. A Decile 1 school, issues with previous school management saw a limited statutory management regime implemented in 2008. But its most recent review said, and I quote, "The Kura whānau has been effective in addressing the areas for review and development and again I quote, many students are achieving well and experience success in a wide variety of areas. In short, things have been going right, and no one can quite understand why anyone would want to vandalise the school, including the family of a boy believed to have been one of those involved." Do you have any idea why they did it?
No.
You're cross about it though, aren't you?
Yep, very.
Quinton Hita told our reporter Anusha Bradley the children involved were all young.
What we've heard through local whānau is that they may be as young as 10 years old. So, aroha to the school and also aroha to children who find themselves in that situation.
Somewhat less aroha from the family of one of the boys.
Well, I haven't been able to get a hold of his mother to let her know that he's gone and done this.
Right.
But if I had it my way, I'd probably break his fingers.
Kaikohe has had a tough few years. In October 2015, a hikoi of hope was held after a spate of suicides saw 6 deaths in just 3 weeks. Low household incomes, an unemployment rate of roughly 20%, roughly half of all children living in single-parent families. It's important to stress no one in Kaikohe wants their town to be seen as hopeless, but raising children there presents some challenges. Here's Quinton Hita again.
Kids in this town are often bored. I don't think there's enough investment in infrastructure in our town, on top of all of the other social issues that impact a town like this with high unemployment.
And as for the boy whose own family has identified him to the Kura as a probable offender, this is a child who could do better if he knew how to. And that's something his cousin says is not unique to just this family.
I would say lack of male role models for children like this.
And how do you deal with that? How do you make them understand what is a good way to behave and why it's important to behave like that? How do you do that?
Show them that there are consequences that follow after the actions.
And so that's what you're doing. That's why you gave his name over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think he understands that?
Yeah, well, he knows there are always consequences or repercussions to all his actions, but I don't think he's going to realise that there are going to be big consequences for this one.
That's the cousin of one of the boys believed to have been involved in the vandalism. She has passed his name over. It's understood there were 5 children, police saying 5 children, all aged under 14.